New York City, 1976. ABC Studios. The Dick Cavett Show. A Tuesday night taping that would air Friday. Live studio audience of 300 people. Cameras rolling, lights hot. The kind of television that felt important because it was happening now and you were watching it unfold. Muhammad Ali was the scheduled guest. He was 34 years old, still heavyweight champion, had just defended his title against Jean-Pierre Koopman 2 months earlier, would fight Jimmy Young in 2 weeks, was in New York doing press, making appearances, being Muhammad Ali, which meant being the most famous athlete in the world and making sure everyone knew it. Dick Cavett was a talk show host who prided himself on intelligent conversation, not Johnny Carson's comedy, not Merv Griffin's celebrity gossip. Cavett asked real questions, had real discussions, talked politics and philosophy and art. His audience was educated, engaged. They came to think, not just to be entertained, but they also came to see Muhammad Ali, who was never boring, who turned every interview into performance art, who could talk about Vietnam and civil rights and boxing and poetry and somehow make it all entertaining and profound at the same time. The taping was going well. Ali was in rare form, talking about his upcoming fight, about training, about being the greatest, making the audience laugh, making Cavett laugh. The chemistry was good. The show was going to be excellent television. Then, during a commercial break, something unexpected happened. A man walked onto the set from the audience, big man, 6'5", 280 pounds, muscular in a way that suggested serious athletic training, wearing a suit, but filling it in a way that made the suit look small, moving with the particular confidence of someone who was used to physical dominance. Security started moving toward him, but the man was already talking, loud enough for the studio audience to hear. Loud enough for Ali to hear. "Muhammad Ali, I've been wanting to meet you." Ali looked up from his chair. Cavett looked confused. The audience was watching. Cameras were off, but the moment was happening. "And you are?" Ali asked. "Antonio Inoki, Japanese professional wrestling champion. I have come to America to make a challenge." Ali smiled. "Wrestling? I don't wrestle, brother. I box." "Yes, you box. Against boxers. But could you box against a wrestler? Could you last even 30 seconds against real fighting?" The studio went quiet. This wasn't part of the show. This was something else, something unscripted, something potentially dangerous. Ali stood up. Cavett tried to interject. "Gentlemen, we're in the middle of a taping." Inoki ignored him, spoke directly to Ali. "I have fought many fighters, judo champions, karate masters, boxers, all of them fell. You talk about being the greatest, but you have only fought in boxing ring, with boxing rules. What happens when there are no rules? When a man can grab you, take you down, what happens then, Muhammad Ali?" Ali's smile was gone. Not angry, but serious. "You challenging me?" "Yes, I challenge you. Boxing match or wrestling match or mixed match, your choice. But I guarantee you will not last 30 seconds once I put my hands on you. You are dancer, you are talker, but you are not fighter when real fighting begins." The audience was riviculating between excitement and nervousness. This was real. This wasn't rehearsed. 2 athletes, face to face, challenge issued. Dick Cavett was signaling frantically to producers. Commercial break was almost over. Cameras would be back on in seconds. They needed to control this situation. But Ali spoke before anyone could stop him. 30 seconds? You think I couldn't last 30 seconds against you? I know you could not." Ali laughed, but it wasn't his usual playful laugh. It was something else, something darker. "Brother, let me tell you something. I have fought Sonny Liston. I have fought George Foreman. I have fought Joe Frazier 3 times. These are men who could kill with their fists. And you think you could put me down in 30 seconds? Those men fought with boxing gloves, with rules, with referees. I fight with my hands, with my body, with everything. Yes, I could put you down in 30 seconds. The commercial break ended. Cameras were back on, red lights indicating live broadcast. But now Ali and Inoki were both standing, facing each other. The audience could see it. America was about to see it. Dick Cavett tried to salvage the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, we seem to have an unexpected guest. This is Antonio Inoki, professional wrestling champion from Japan, and he's just issued a challenge to Muhammad Ali. Ali didn't look at the camera, kept his eyes on Inoki. You want to prove yourself? You want to show the world that wrestling beats boxing? Right here, right now, this stage, these cameras. Let's see if you can last 30 seconds against me. Inoki smiled. You accept my challenge? I accept. But not wrestling, not boxing. We're going to do something else. Something that will prove once and for all whether your wrestling or my boxing is superior. Cavett looked panicked. Muhammad, I don't think. Ali raised his hand, silenced him. Still looking at Inoki. You said I couldn't last 30 seconds if you put your hands on me. So here's what we're going to do. You try to grab me, try to wrestle me, try to take me down. For 30 seconds, full speed, everything you got, and I'm going to do nothing but move. Not punch, not hit, just move, just dance. Just show you and everyone watching why boxers are superior to wrestlers. The audience gasped. The producers were screaming in their earpieces to the camera operators. Cut to commercial. End this. Stop it. But it was live television, and Ali was Muhammad Ali. And stopping him was like stopping a hurricane. Inoki's smile widened. You will not punch, not defend? I'll defend by not being there. That's what boxers do. We don't need to grab. We don't need to grapple. We just need to not be where you are. And I guarantee that in 30 seconds, you won't touch me once. Not once. Impossible. I am trained grappler. I can catch anyone. Then catch me. Dick Cavett made one last attempt. Gentlemen, this is a television studio. We have insurance issues, legal liability. We cannot. Ali interrupted. Dick, relax. Nobody's going to get hurt. This man is going to try to grab me for 30 seconds, and he's going to fail. And then he's going to go back to Japan and tell everyone that Muhammad Ali is faster than any wrestler in the world. Right here, right now. Let's do it. The producers were having a meltdown, but the cameras were rolling. The audience was watching, and Ali was already moving to clear space on the set, creating room. Inoki removed his jacket, rolled up his sleeves, took a wrestling stance, low, balanced, hands ready to grab. Ali stood casual, hands at his sides, no boxing stance, no defensive posture, just standing there, like he was waiting for a bus. Dick Cavett had given up trying to stop it, stood back, watched. The audience was on their feet. 30 seconds, Ali said, starting now. Inoki lunged forward, fast for a big man, hands reaching for Ali's waist, trying to grab, trying to tackle. Ali's hips shifted 3 inches to the left. Inoki's hands grabbed air. His momentum carried him past Ali. He stumbled, caught himself. The audience gasped. Inoki reset, tried again, came in lower, shooting for Ali's legs, a classic wrestling takedown. Ali's feet moved backwards, 1 step, minimal. Inoki dove through the space where Ali had been, hit the floor, hard. The audience was screaming now, half cheering, half shocked. Inoki got up, frustrated, came at Ali from a different angle, tried to corner him, trap him against the furniture. Ali moved in a circle, smooth, effortless, like he was dancing, which he was. Every move precise, every step calculated, never where Inoki expected. Inoki tried to grab Ali's arms, tried to clinch, tried to wrap him up. His hands kept finding nothing. Ali's arms moving just out of reach, his body shifting just beyond Inoki's grasp. 15 seconds had passed. Inoki was breathing harder, getting desperate. This was humiliating. On television, in front of America, he was one of the best grapplers in the world, and he couldn't touch a boxer who wasn't even trying to fight back. He tried a different approach. Faked high, went low, tried to catch Ali's ankles. Ali jumped, small hop, like skipping rope. Inoki's hands swept under his feet, caught nothing. Ali landed, smiled. 15 more seconds, brother. You getting tired? Inoki charged, frustrated beyond strategy, just trying to grab anything. Arms, legs, shoulders, anything. Ali moved like water, flowing around Inoki's attempts, bobbing when Inoki reached high, weaving when Inoki went wide, stepping back when Inoki came forward. Never more than a few inches of movement, never wasted motion, just perfect economy of defense. 5 seconds left. Inoki made one final desperate attempt, dove at Ali. Full commitment, everything behind it. Ali stepped aside, minimal movement. Inoki crashed into a chair. The chair fell over. Inoki fell with it. Time, Ali said. The studio erupted. People screaming, some laughing, some applauding, some just standing there in shock at what they'd witnessed. Inoki was on the floor, breathing hard, sweating through his shirt, humiliated. He'd touched nothing. Not Ali's arm, not his leg, not his shoulder, nothing. For 30 seconds he'd tried with everything he had, and he'd grabbed only air. Ali extended his hand, helped Inoki up. You're strong, brother. You're fast for a big man. But you forgot something. I've been making people miss for 15 years. That's what I do. You want to grab me? You gotta be faster than Joe Frazier's left hook. You gotta be quicker than George Foreman's right hand, and you're not. Inoki stood there, defeated without being struck, embarrassed without being hurt. Then Ali did something unexpected, put his arm around Inoki's shoulders, spoke to him quietly. The microphones barely picked it up. But you got courage, coming on television, challenging me in front of everyone. That takes guts. So how about this? You go back to Japan, you train, you work on your speed, and if you still want to fight me, we'll do it right. Real match, real event, real money for both of us. Deal? Inoki looked at Ali, realized what was being offered. Not just mercy, but opportunity. A way to turn this humiliation into something valuable. Deal, Inoki said. They shook hands. The audience applauded again, but different now. Not mocking, appreciating. Dick Cavett finally found his voice. Well, that was certainly unexpected. Ladies and gentlemen, Muhammad Ali and Antonio Inoki, who apparently will be fighting in the future. The show went to commercial. The producers were screaming. ABC executives were on the phone. Legal was having a heart attack. This was not approved. This was not planned. This could have resulted in injury, lawsuit, disaster. But it had happened, on live television. Muhammad Ali had just embarrassed a professional wrestling champion without throwing a single punch. Had made him look slow and clumsy and ineffective. Had proven that boxing footwork and defensive skill was superior to wrestling grappling, at least for 30 seconds, at least against Ali. The segment aired as planned on Friday. The network debated cutting it, but decided against it. It was too good, too dramatic, too perfect. The response was massive. Everyone was talking about it. Sports reporters, boxing analysts, wrestling fans, everyone had an opinion. Some said Ali had proven boxing superiority. Some said it wasn't a fair test. Some said 30 seconds proved nothing. Some said Inoki should have tried harder. But everyone agreed on one thing. Muhammad Ali had just created another legendary television moment. 6 months later, the promised match happened. June 26, 1976, Tokyo, Japan. Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki. Billed as the War of the Worlds, boxing versus wrestling. but real this time, in a ring, with modified rules that allowed both men to use their styles. 15 rounds. Inoki spent most of the fight on his back, kicking at Ali's legs, trying to avoid Ali's punches while doing damage from the ground. Ali circled, mostly avoiding, occasionally throwing punches. The fight was boring, technical, strange. It ended in a draw. Nobody was happy. The spectacle had been better than the actual fight. But the real fight had happened 6 months earlier, on the Dick Cavett Show. When Ali had proven his point in 30 seconds, had shown that speed and movement could defeat strength and grappling, had demonstrated that sometimes the best defense is simply not being there when your opponent reaches for you. Years later, Dick Cavett would tell the story of that taping. Would say it was the most nervous he'd ever been on television, that he was certain someone was going to get hurt, that ABC executives wanted to fire him for letting it happen. But I couldn't stop it, Cavett would say. Nobody could stop Muhammad Ali when he decided to do something. And what he did that night was prove something that needed proving, that boxing isn't just about punching, it's about not getting hit, and nobody in history was better at not getting hit than Ali. Antonio Inoki would go on to become one of the most famous wrestlers in Japanese history, would fight countless matches, win countless championships, would create New Japan Pro Wrestling, and become a cultural icon. But he would always remember the night in New York, the night he challenged Muhammad Ali on television, the night he couldn't touch him for 30 seconds, the night he learned that being strong wasn't enough, that being skilled wasn't enough, that sometimes you could do everything right and still lose because your opponent was simply better. The lesson was simple but profound. Speed beats strength. Movement beats power. Being somewhere else beats being tough enough to take a hit. Muhammad Ali didn't beat Antonio Inoki by hitting him. He beat him by making him miss, by making him look slow, by making him chase shadows and grab air. And in doing so, he proved what he'd been saying all along. I am the greatest, not because I hit hardest, but because you can't hit me at all. If this incredible story of a live television challenge that shocked the network moved you, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Share this with someone who needs to know that the best way to win a fight is to not be there when it happens. Comment about a time when avoiding conflict proved more powerful than engaging it. And remember, the greatest victories don't always end with someone on the ground. Sometimes they end with someone chasing air and realizing they never had a chance.